Welcome to BitterBuzz. Today it's gonna get piney. We're looking at Pliny the Elder, the Imperial IPA from the Russian River Brewing Company. Pliny was a Roman author-naturalist that lived around 79 AD, and he was famous for writing the Encyclopedia Naturalis Historia, which also included Humulus lupulus, which you now know as hops. So let's dive into this 8% brew and see how piney Pliny the Elder is. The color actually reminds me of the color that you would see in a cartoon beer, like for example in The Simpsons. A very honey golden look to it with a nice foam foundation. Very bubbly, slightly carbonated, absolutely delicious looking. Let's smell it. Automatically you can smell the hops, the bitterness of it. It is slightly citrusy, but more on the sweeter note that it reminds me a bit of guava, melon, honey even. It smells a bit yeasty as well, slightly musky, although the beer is definitely going to go into the piney direction. I mean, imagine it wouldn't, and I just set up everything that I did for nothing. Cheers. It's way more fruity than I anticipated. You definitely still have the bitterness, very grapefruit-like, slightly orange-like, but it definitely has more of the bitter notes. Smoked, burned, and to me it kind of tastes like honey as well. And I think that's what the Imperial hops does, which has more of the citrus sweetness to it. The Centennial hops is more woody, so you have that earthiness, that pininess. The CTZ, which I believe is a combination, which adds more of the bitterness to it. Last but not least, you have the Simcoe hops, which is more floral, yet earthy yet again. But all those hops encompass this beer. The bitterness is definitely dominating. It's like a punch. But that shouldn't surprise me because it's an 8% Imperial IPA. I'm surprised it's not as piney. But disregarding that, let's look at the bottle a little bit more because it has a bunch of stuff to say with a bunch of exclamation marks, which feels like the beer is yelling at me. Respect your elder. Fair. Keep cold, drink fresh. Fair. Do not age. I feel like aging is inevitable though. Pliny the Elder is a historical figure. Don't make the beer inside this bottle one. That's funny. If you must sit on eggs, not on Pliny. I don't get that. Is that like an American reference? I don't think I have much more to say. This beer has been reviewed dozens of times, besides my expression of disappointment. But it is what it is, right? It's still good. It's just not as good as people made it seem. To sum this up, I'm surprised that Pliny is not as piney, yet if you like more of a musky bitterness with a little bit of a citrus, grapefruit punch, slightly honey, malty floral finish, then this is the Imperial IPA for you. With that said, cheers and thanks for watching.